Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 concerns that we each have heading into the draft. So we're
Yeah.
basically through free agency. We might add some things, but we're really gearing up for the draft and we're all excited and things are going well. But don't forget, there's things that we still need to work on. Not everything's perfect. And we kind of get in this tunnel where we're like, culture, Brad Holmes is doing this. Hey, we still got a lot of work to do. And so we're each going to share our 3 concerns going into the draft. So I'll share.
It's good
So Craig,
stuff.
Craig, do you want to share 3 and then I'll share 3, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, I want to go one and then I do one, you do one. I do
Let's
one.
do
And
it.
we've always done the 3 and 3. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring back our old tagline. Remember our first like 20 videos that we did where we
Yes.
said we're homers that
Try to keep it real.
that's right. And so and of course we were made fun of for that. But
Yeah.
we do need to keep it real. So Chris, I want to ask you first thing you are worried about going into the draft. First concern. Go.
My first concern is that we take an offensive player somewhere in those premium picks because they're best available when we clearly have holes defensively.
So are you
That would be
talking
it.
premium picks like 232, 34?
Yeah, even in the third round, even in the fourth, see, even in the fourth round, like I'm okay if we have a little bit of a need, but like, yeah, I would just hate for us to pass up on just an absolute need hole that we have on defense.
Sure. And we do have a lot of holes. And so you said that you are worried that we would waste a premium pick on an offensive player. My concern going into the draft, one of mine, is feeling like we're just all set on offense and that we're
Mm,
good to go. I think we saw last year how bad offense can get when you lack depth. And we lack depth at a couple of positions. We lack depth at tackle. We lack depth at tight end. I think we could use some more top end talent at wide receiver. So I don't, if there's a great player available, I'm worried that at this point in the rebuild, we might draft for need instead of just drafting pure talent. And the talent might be on the offensive side, but we're saying, no, 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 no. We need to go defense because we haven't addressed defense as much as we should in free agency. So I'm with you, but also the exact opposite.
yeah, I want to be like, man, I hear you, I love it, but like, well, are you disagreeing with me? Agree with me? So
No, no,
I love
no.
that.
I'm very nicely disagreeing
Yeah, I
with
think
you.
that's what it
I
is.
5 picks, right? Is it 5 in the top 100?
Yes,
I want at least one offensive player in that. I'm fine if we go defense first 4, but I would like to see one offensive player at least picked in the top 100.
I love it. Okay,
Okay.
I'm with it. And then for number 2 for me, we didn't address linebacker in the offseason like I would have liked. And I'm not necessarily saying that's Brad Holmes' fault. You
You think
look at
Jared
who was,
Davis is the answer
yeah,
starting
you
middle
like,
linebacker?
there's him and the guy from the Ravens, cool
Yeah,
additions, but you just, if you're real about it, you're like, man, we still don't have that playmaker on line at linebacker.
not
So
there.
that concern going into the draft is, shoot, man, we really need 2 linebackers, and I'd love premium starter linebackers, of course. I'd love, but it's like, we don't know. So we're just gonna have to use capital on linebacker when I would like to get one in free agency.
Yeah, I think I disagreed with you on your first point with the offensive side. It was a slight disagreement.
Yep.
I am in full agreement with you here. And I think that we've left ourselves in a position with linebacker where we might need to draft 2, to be honest. I don't even think 1 cuts. It could, but even that would just be a suffice. And then there's a bunch of like rotation pieces around. And how does he fit in? Is he part of the rotation? I'm nervous about linebacker, and I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Linebacker is in a position that rookies usually come in and just dominate. You always have that guy that was picked in the 3rd round out of Wisconsin every single time
Mhm.
that ends up being a good middle linebacker in his rookie year, but it's not the most common thing. I think Bush was really good for Pittsburgh year 1, too. But don't get me wrong. It does happen. Maybe it's a 50-50 shot, but I'm just nervous that we haven't done enough with linebacker. I'm with you.
100%. Yep. And you make a great point about, unless you're a premium number 1 or 2 linebacker taken, it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, you don't hear about those guys just exploding and doing things. So,
No.
for me, number 3, the last one, is we just don't have enough picks to address all of our needs.
Sure.
And that just concerns me because we know we need a D end, a couple linebackers, a safety, a corner, a backup tight end. You start and you start
Yeah,
going down the
depth
list.
on the offensive line.
Yeah, some
And
depth on the offensive
and
line.
by the way, did you even say defensive line or did you say edge first?
I said edge, but defensive line is,
Yeah, D
yeah. So that
tackle.
Yeah, we just don't have enough picks to
I
really
couldn't
hit
agree
it all.
with you more. That's not going to be my third thing, but like I couldn't. I could not agree with you more. There's just so many things, and when you look at this draft, we have 5 picks in the top 100. We're lucky if 3 of those guys become starters.
Mhm.
I think, and in a normal world, and we might be forced to have 3, 4, or all 5 become starters or something like that. My third concern might be my biggest concern. It's that second overall pick, and I'm worried that we're going to settle for someone at number 2 that we could have easily taken at 5 or 7. It just happens that we're picking number 2 this year, and it would be the Lions' luck that we get the number 2 pick. The one year there's not a quarterback where people are just salivating over anymore. There's not this premium player, and if there is, it's the only person people might trade up for right now is Aiden Hutchinson, and it looks like he's going to go to Jacksonville. So we might be stuck at 2. People aren't going to trade back with us. I doubt it. And then we're going to end up picking someone that we probably could have picked at 5 or 7, and that terrifies me because if we're picking 2, I want a for sure franchise player. I don't want what happened with Okudah with the third pick, and he still could be good. He could still be very good. It's not what I'm saying, but he's not yet. And I'm just worried that we're going to draft someone that's like, I think they'll be good. I hope they'll be good. They're not elite.
Yep.
I'm worried about that.
100% agree with that. That's a tough spot to be in. At number 2, what I've really learned is like you don't want to be obviously you don't want to be have a premium pick, a top 10 because you're just it's tough and it's well I guess you do, but I'm saying you want to win games. But my point is when you're up in the top 5 of a draft, it's like you only have a couple options. You have to pick these guys, and
Yeah.
then it's like I don't really need. Yeah, and like I said, you're almost like reaching at 2. You're reaching for a guy that because there is not that premium guy there. So
Just stinks to reach at 2. Like we didn't have that with the Pistons. They got Cade Cunningham. We'll do another video on that, but like, and he's awesome. Like it wasn't like, oh man, what a bad year to have the number 1 pick. It was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. And here we are,
exactly.
finally get the number 2 pick, and we're like, it's kind of a bad year to have the number 2 pick.
It is. It's just a bad year for that. So yeah, hey, let us know what you think. Any concerns going into the draft? Look,
Yeah.
Brad Holmes is doing a great job, but it's not perfect, and there's still things that we have to do. So let us know what you'd like to see or what concerns you have going into the draft. Hit the subscribe button,
Yep.
and we will see all of you next time.